There is a movie called Hundreds of Beavers. And when we heard that there was a movie called Hundreds of Beavers, we're like, we have to review Hundreds of Beavers. I mean, how could we not? I could not resist that. A bunch of you guys have suggested, oh my God, you got to see Hundreds of Beavers. So we sought it out. It is doing a roadshow touring thing. It's going from city to city. We will definitely have a link for you down in the description so you can find all these beavers in your town. But Alonso, please describe this wacky film to us.
So this is a film from Mike Cheslik, who previously directed a low-budget horror film called Lake Michigan Monster, and he is reuniting with his leading man, Ryland Brixton Cole Hughes. He plays Jean Kayak, and he begins the film as a purveyor of Applejack, but after beavers manage to destroy his entire orchard, he finds himself literally out in the cold, in his long johns, trying to survive, and attempting and failing and attempting and failing to just like trap a rabbit or a beaver or something that he can eat. And as we slowly see him become more and more expert in navigating the wilderness, the titular Hundreds of Beavers continue to like build a very elaborate dam in the background. This is a movie that I was immediately reminded of Guy Madden. You know, when you look at his early films where he's sort of recreating the aesthetic of silent films, this is a silent comedy, a black and white comedy that is very assertively low budget. Like the Hundreds of Beavers are literally dudes in beaver like mascot costumes.
Like furries.
You know? Exactly, yeah. Like rabbits, raccoons, they're all like dudes in these outfits, you know. It's like Guy Madden, but also Chuck Jones. Like there's a real Looney Tunes aesthetic here, some Monty Python thrown in, a lot of like so much like setup, payoff, and repetition and taking gags and building on them and building on them and building on them. And, I went in a little skeptical because, movies like this will pop up, especially on the festival circuit, and they've got a gimmicky title and like a fun concept. And it would be like a great concept for a short film, but as a feature, it wears itself out. And I was laughing from start to finish. I found this movie a constant delight. It was always sort of building on itself. The way that the gags would come around again, but then just be goosed up a notch or two, I found really charming. I didn't think this was going to work, and they land the plane. Like this film just keeps building and keeps building and keeps building. And I think it's brilliant. I think everybody involved here has a future with Hollywood, which I hope doesn't destroy them, because they are, I think, really great at this sort of very niche, goofy, low budget aesthetic that they've got. I want somebody to give them a lot of money to make a movie that is this goofy, because I don't know, I think it was just generally inspired and funny, and it shouldn't work, it shouldn't maintain, but it does. Cheslik and Ryland Brixton Cole Hughes, I'm not sure which is his last name, co-wrote this, and they have a real feel for this kind of comedy, and the leading man is a great silent comedian in the Harold Lloyd, Buster Keaton mold. Like his face is so expressive. He's so adept at the tons of physical comedy that's being involved here. The pratfalls and the different things that are going on. I was so charmed and surprised and delighted by this.
I don't think they land the plane.
Okay.
I think the plane falls apart in midair about halfway through. I was on board. I was delighted for so long. And it does have this incredibly zany energy, and it is so singular. I would add that it feels like it has a lot of the like Tim and Eric kind of absurdity to it as well. Like if you ever watched Tom Goes to the Mayor, and there's like a clip art kind of quality, like an intentionally rough hewn quality to the animation in that's happening here as well. Like when the main guy is like going up a tree, and it looks it's intentionally incredibly fake. That happens over and over again to great comic effect. And then the dam, of course, looks super fake. It's very elaborate. So I thought it was hilarious a lot of the time. And I see that they are marketing themselves as we are the real Coyote versus Acme, because it does have a lot of, as you say, like that kind of Looney Tunes where he tries over and over again. He's the road. No, I'm sorry. He's Coyote. He's Coyote, yeah. And all the other animals are the Roadrunner. Like he's constantly trying to come up with these contraptions and traps and like things that don't work or like they just miss or they do work but it doesn't go right. And so over and over again, it is very, very funny. But I would say about 30, 45 minutes into what is nearly a 2-hour long film, I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it.
Huh,
I see what we're doing here. It eventually did go to places that I did not expect, that were more elaborate narratively. There is more going on here than just a guy trying to trap a bunch of beavers.
It gets very those devices that you talk about, I think, culminate in a very sort of Rube Goldbergian finale. You know,
but there's a whole thing with his trapping map, right? He has like different little scribbles of furry creatures, whether it's a skunk or a frog, and like this thing eats this thing, and he keeps going back to that over and over and over again. The repetition becomes repetitious.
Oh, I disagree. I feel like they're constantly building on it, and it's like it's just giving you a firm location of where things are, and each time he goes there it's a little different. It's a little bit, okay, now that I know this, I can now do this. It never felt like it was spinning its wheels. It felt like it was constantly building on what was already established.
I will say that when they do ever so slightly break from this structure, because it is essentially silent, but when it's not silent, like that's kind of funny. Like when there's an actual noise or whatever. And just the vision of it, I admire so much. Like the what the fuck of this is amazing to me, because I just don't even know how they came up with it. And there are actual effects shots, and there is a big chase there's a big chase involving logs. Anyway, I don't want to give it away, but the thing that is like the big climactic chase, I did think was thrilling, and I did think was impressive. But it's a bit of slogging to get to that, and the score becomes repetitive. There's like a couple of different like thematic motifs that they go back to over and over and over again, and just I don't think this needs to be an hour and 48 minutes long. I think this could be like a nice tidy 80 minutes.
I look, on paper I'm inclined to agree with you that when I saw it was 108 minutes, I'm like, that's a lot for this level of, you know, what they're doing. But I believe me, no one was more surprised than me or than I that this thing that this worked and that it kept me engaged for the full 108 minutes.
Yeah. No, having said that, we've seen so many movies in our lives, right? And how often does something come along that is truly original, that is truly gonzo? Yeah. I'm sure this plays like absolute gangbusters in like a midnight festival setting.
Sure, with a packed audience, no question.
I'm sure it's fun as hell. Like I watched it at home, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with it as well. So if you do plan on seeing this, again, we'll put the link down below to where it's playing. It's going from city to city. I bet it will get picked up somewhere. You know, it's got such buzz, and I think everyone's, you know, especially small indie distributors are always looking for that cool new buzzy thing, and this is that buzzy, no pun intended, because it's like a lumber mill situation. So what is your number then?
A 9.3. Like
wow.
This is a movie I will be thinking about when I'm making my list for the year, because I don't think I've seen anything quite like it. And it, again, I'm so astonished that, for me anyway, that they maintained it and they made this work, that it didn't wear out its welcome. And I understand for some viewers it is, including you, but for me it didn't. So you know, hooray.
All right, I'm gonna say I'm bummed to give this number. I'm gonna say like a 6, because it's so original and it's so cool and it's so silly and playful, and there's so many fun details. But it just runs out of steam, and it is just too long. So let us know if you see Hundreds of Beavers. We are dying to hear your thoughts. Definitely go check it out.
And next time you guys want to accuse me of hating everything, remember this review.
Hundreds of Beavers, people, is a thing that cracked Alonso's heart wide open.